Thanks for joining us. Now at noon, a deadly crash in Chico County. What we know about the accident that killed 5 people. Plus, Arkansas lawmakers meeting this week to discuss school safety ahead of a special session this summer. What they're looking at. Members of the Proud Boys now face seditious conspiracy charges in connection with the assault on the Capitol. More on the new charges and the primetime congressional hearing scheduled this week. And it's been a tough few years for Hollywood. We're taking a closer look at how studios are banking on summer blockbusters to bring people back to the movies. But first, we're here with meteorologist Scott Covert, and we want to know more about this rainy lunch hour parts of the states are seeing.
Hey, if folks are about to leave the office, run out and grab a bite to eat, you probably want to bring that umbrella with you. Here's why. You can see that large complex of showers and thunderstorms moving in from the west. Let's take a look at your radar. You do find there is some intense rain. There's some frequent lightning and thunder, some gusty winds, no question about that. Here's the good news. While there is a severe weather potential today, there are no active severe weather warnings. If you're in Arkadelphia, Hot Springs, Perryville, Conway, Russellville even, you've got some heavy rain, a nice thunderstorm moving your direction. It is certainly going to cause some heavy rain, and you can see all those lightning strikes around the area. Now here's the severe weather watch that's in effect. It spans from Crawford and Franklin County all the way down to the Louisiana-Arkansas state line. That's going to be in effect for 2 o'clock with the exception of those counties near Texarkana. That watch runs till 3 p.m. this afternoon. We could see additional watches added as a result of the severe weather risk moving to central and eastern Arkansas. This is the overall picture for today. Now temperatures outside, it's pretty warm where it hasn't rained, already up to 86 in Little Rock, 84 in Little Rock. 86 is our high temperature for today. That rain likely to cool us down. Now I'm tracking this as well as additional chances of storms later this week. Everything you need to know coming right up.
Thanks, Scott. And new at noon, we're working to learn more about a deadly crash in Chico County that killed several people. It happened yesterday afternoon on Highway 65. According to the Arkansas Department of Public Safety, an 18-wheeler hit another vehicle carrying several passengers. 5 people in that vehicle were killed. Another 5 people were hurt. What we know so far is that the driver of the vehicle that was hit worked for C.B. King Memorial School in McGee. That is a nonprofit that provides services to adults with development delays and disabilities. We have a crew on the way to Chico County this afternoon, and we'll have the very latest tonight at 5 and 6. And a child is recovering as police continue their investigation into a shooting in Benton. It happened last night around 7:30. Officers responded to a possible shooting at the Chapel Ridge Apartments. That's where they found a young girl who had been shot. She is being treated at a local hospital, and police believe she will recover from her injuries. No suspects have been arrested at this time. If you have any information on this incident, please contact the police. And right now in Garland County, detectives are investigating a shooting that left 2 people dead and another one injured. The surviving victim says she was shot at a home about a mile from Highway 270, just outside the Hot Springs city limits. Deputies found 43-year-old Genevieve Johnson and 27-year-old Corey Cox dead. No arrests have been made. Police ask that you call them with any information. And as conversations about gun safety continue across the country, lawmakers here in Arkansas are debating ways to keep students safe at school. The Education Committee met yesterday to try and decide how they can better protect students in Arkansas schools this fall. Lawmakers asked for reports and expertise from the Arkansas School Safety Commission. Dr. Cheryl May brought 30 recommendations to lawmakers, which included improvements in everything from mental health to school resource officers or SROs. But some teachers at the meeting shared concerns that the brunt of the safety responsibility falls on them.
Oh, of course they are. We're asking our teachers to do a lot because they are the front lines oftentimes in a lot of this. And Senator Chesterfield was absolutely correct by making sure that there's also a focus on teacher wellness, because that is critically important. It's a lot to handle.
This isn't something we just talk about when an event happens. It becomes more popular, but this is something that we do every day.
The Arkansas School Safety Commission is expected to meet again next week, and they'll come up with more recommendations to be heard at a special session later this summer. And while lawmakers make progress on those talks, they disagree on what to do about the state's gun laws. Depending on who you ask, they're either for the current gun laws or think they're not strict enough. While there is disagreement, 2 state senators say they do agree on one thing: keeping Arkansans safe.
I'm always willing to reach across the aisle because at the end of the day, I think what we all want is for our citizens to feel safe and to feel secure.
Everybody deserves better, and it's on us to make sure that we carry out our responsibility to make it better.
While lawmakers are expected to meet this summer for a special session, Governor Hutchinson and leaders in the House and Senate say they don't plan on making gun laws a part of it. Nationally, lawmakers continue to struggle to find a compromise on gun reform legislation in the wake of mass shootings in Buffalo and Uvalde. And now the government is warning that the threat of more domestic attacks is on the rise. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
We're more than hurt. We're angry.
Garnell Whitfield Jr., who lost his mother in the Buffalo supermarket shooting, called on lawmakers to recognize the threat of violence posed by white supremacists.
My mother's life mattered. My mother's life mattered. And your actions here today will tell us how much it matters to you.
The Department of Homeland Security issued a new bulletin Tuesday, warning of copycat attacks in the wake of the shootings in Buffalo and Uvalde.
We have volatile capabilities, those are the weapons you're talking about, now combined with volatile ideas and beliefs in the mainstream. It's a deadly cocktail that promises more violence going forward.
A small bipartisan group of senators has been working to see if there's some kind of compromise that can be reached, but the process has been slow going.
Both sides are involved, and people in good faith trying to get a solution, and something that actually would prevent what has happened in these last couple of horrific incidents.
Senate negotiators appear to be focusing on helping states enact or improve red flag laws, which allow courts to seize guns from anyone deemed dangerous, as well as new mental health measures and increased school safety funding.
Now is the time to come together, be responsible. Democrats, Republicans, everyone.
Former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who was shot in the head during a constituent event in 2011, called on lawmakers to be courageous and to take action on new gun legislation. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The DHS bulletin warns the threat of a domestic attack could be high over the next couple of months. It warns that potential targets include public gatherings, faith-based institutions, schools, racial, ethnic, and religious minorities, government facilities and personnel, U.S. critical infrastructure, the media, and perceived ideological opponents. Now, in other news, members of the far-right group Proud Boys have been charged with sedition for their alleged part of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The new charges come as Washington prepares for a primetime hearing by the House Select Committee investigating the attack. Bradley Blackburn has the latest for us.
The leader of the far-right Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, was already facing charges for his alleged planning of the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol. But Monday's indictment raises the stakes. He and 4 other members now face the most serious criminal charge yet, seditious conspiracy. The 5 men previously pleaded not guilty to lesser conspiracy charges. As the judicial process plays out, the House Select Committee investigating January 6th is now focused on the court of public opinion. In a primetime hearing scheduled Thursday, it plans to lay out what it has discovered in a nearly year-long investigation.
The public hasn't seen it woven together, how one thing led to another, how one line of effort to overturn the election led to another.
The special committee, with 7 Democrats and 2 Republican members, has conducted interviews and depositions with key figures close to President Trump. That includes members of his family. Court filings show the committee says it has enough evidence to believe Mr. Trump conspired to defraud the U.S. Republican Vice Chair Liz Cheney recently spoke to CBS News.
Was it a conspiracy?
I think certainly, I mean, look, if you look at the court filings,
do you believe it was a conspiracy?
I do.
Other Republicans have tried to undercut the committee, calling it political. The primetime hearing will reportedly include pre-taped videos and live witnesses, and will kick off a series of hearings that could take weeks. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
The committee has already completed more than 1,000 interviews, and CBS and other major networks will carry the committee's hearing live in primetime on Thursday. Now, a heads up for drivers this afternoon. Arkansas gas prices going up yet again. Overnight, the statewide average jumped another 5 cents to $4.45 a gallon. That's according to AAA. Prices have skyrocketed 55 cents in the last month. And this morning, Gas Buddy out with bad news on the horizon, saying it appears not if, but when we'll hit $5 a gallon. And right now, at least 10 states are already paying $5 or more for gas. Several more are only a penny away and will likely hit the $5 per gallon point within a day or two.